Hey everyone, so I've only had one cup of coffee, so let's see if I can get my brain going, but I'm on my third tripod here. I have a 12-year-old son that tears things apart because he's smart and he really knows how to do everything, but doesn't put things back usually. So the first one he broke, the second one we lost. I actually threw the piece away because I thought it was to the first one. So let's see if I can keep three on my third tripod and keep it running. I just realized I need my microphone. So that I think the lighting's a little better on this side. It's kind of cloudy out, but it's super early. I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning. Don't ask me why. So yeah, my son reminds me of my brother. Brother used to tear apart everything to figure out how to use things, and he's really smart. He can put together anything. He can read a book and build a shed, which I have no mechanical ability, so that is so nice, and hopefully Samuel will pick up those traits and be able to build things for me in the future. But so yeah, I'm glad to finally have a working tripod to actually do videos. I actually quit my job, so not to do YouTube, of course. I'm not getting paid for this yet. There goes my hawk that is always chasing my dog. But yeah, I was in the medical field 20 years, and I'm burnt out, and it's a career that you go to help people, but you really don't get to help people. It's just like a machine. So I'm gonna get a job doing something fun, something I enjoy for a while, at least for the summer. And I'm gonna start adding. I used to write poetry. I used to read and write poetry, and I have tons of it. So I'm gonna start sharing it on my channel. Because what's the point of it if you don't share it with people? So today's Saturday. This will be the first year without my dad on Father's Day, so that's gonna be hard. But we've been so busy this month because June is like everyone's birthday. It's like my husband, my 20th anniversary we just had. My mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and then a Father's Day. So it's just crazy. And then you add graduations, and it's super busy. So, my garden looks pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to do strawberries because I don't know. They're really hard to get. Ones that do not get eaten by the bugs. And I know on Roots and Refuge, she does hers, I think in her, I don't know if it's in her greenhouse, but she gets some good ones in those. I may have to buy some of those expensive green stalks, because I have cheap versions of them. They're not good. They don't keep the water. I have to water them every day, so. But yeah, I'll show you my garden today. I've done everything by seed this year, which has been, I wouldn't say easier, cheaper. It's not been hard. It's just you have to really pay attention to everything because you have to move the seeds from the hydroponic garden, which is my water garden inside. Grows strictly water and nutrients. You get these little bottles that you pour in there for their food, and they do great. Not everything does great. There's certain things, but tomatoes do great in there. So, and then I have to acclimate them to the outside. So then, oh, there goes a bee. I have to put them in the screen and porch for a while because they can't go right out in the heat. They'll die. And once they're used to the outside, then I put them in the garden. So seeds are definitely cheaper, but you have to pay attention. I got zinnias this year by seed, and my sister told me, my sister Dawn, hi Dawn, She watches my channel. And she loves to garden too. So we exchange tips all the time. But she said the zinnias from the Dollar General are awesome. And they are. Like, I had them in a pot. Growing things in pots in Georgia is extremely hard so far to me. I just did a raised container and it's really struggling, and I don't know. I'm sure it has to do with keeping the water equal. I don't know if I'm giving it too much water or not enough. So the thing is, I'm doing it so that I'm not kneeling, because I have like a meniscus tear right now that I'm trying to heal. But it's weird because the raised beds are fine, but it's something with the containers. I guess because, well, I guess it makes sense because the containers on the ground are still they're going into the ground, whereas this is the container and it's not open and part of the earth, is my guess. So yeah, I don't know. I was thinking of just doing, I don't know if I'm gonna read these poems. I may just like add them in onto my videos. I forget what it's called, where you just add your voice. But so we'll see. But I have a lot of time right now. But your money runs out fast, so I don't have too much time before I have to start looking. So I'm just going to show you where my garden is at this point today, in June 15th. It doesn't look as good as it usually does because of my knee injury. I haven't like been able to mulch and pull weeds and stuff, but it looks pretty good. So I'm going to put a plant in here, my son's old trucks. That'll be super cute. This is oregano. This has been here since I got here, which is like 5 years. So that needs to come out, get into new soil. This is my sunniest bed where I get the most sun. So that's a cucamelon plant. I told you guys before I'm really bad about labeling, but I think these are either big boys. I have two types of big tomatoes, and I think that's what these are. I was trying to grow tomatillos, but you gotta take off these yellow leaves because it will spread. We have gotten rain nonstop, and now it's extremely hot out, like 90s during the day. So you got to keep these yellow leaves off. So these are doing great. These cucamelons, my God, they're trying to take over my tomatoes. I'm trying to get them to grow in the back there. I need to get more trellis for them to climb. I grew. Finally, my basil's growing by seed. See, my strawberries, meh. Another cucamelon. I have a cucumber back there that looks great. Starting to get beetles. That's the thing, is waiting for all the pests to appear, but I'm going to use something this year because I lost all my cucumbers last year and I'm not doing it again. I was trying to be all earthy, crunchy, organic, as my husband would say, but it doesn't work. This is got a lot of green leaves, but not a ton of blooms. It's weird. I have some back here, whoops, sorry, that are starting. I've tried to do many sunflowers. Everything eats them, so that's getting annoying. These are all surprise, I don't know. I planted Romas, Tiny Tims, chocolate cherries, but I really didn't label half of them. Dude, get out of there. He likes the smell of the organic fertilizer, so I have to get out. And see, this is what I mean about this bed. I don't know what the deal is. My nasturtiums come up and they turn yellow. And then this plant's doing good, but this plant is not. So it may not be in the sun enough. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. So that's annoying. I have blueberry. I can't not seem to get more than a couple blueberries, and then they don't ripen. So I've not figured out blueberries. Those just drive me nuts. Last year I got a ton of strawberries. This year, I guess it's too much rain and not enough sun. They're so picky. That is potatoes, which I've never done before. Lots of thyme. Just doing good. These are the zinnias that I grew by seed. They're starting to bloom. I also put them in the garden over here. Try not to swing too fast because it'll make you guys sick. See? I put these in here yesterday and they have 2 new blooms already. So that's the difference between containers and having it actually in the garden. Look, I marked that one. Chocolate cherry. Every now and then. I start out marking them, but by the time they get in the garden, they're not marked. This one is too, big boy. Last year I had all cherry tomatoes and not enough big boys, and this year it seemed like I have the opposite problem. Although my cherry tomatoes come up as volunteers. See, those tiny Tim tomatoes, they're all looking like this. Like stunted. I don't know what the deal is. But I was excited to see those because I like tiny stuff. And there's my cilantro. That's doing good. So as you can see, I have plenty of tomatoes. These are lilies, just bloomed. These are volunteers, so these are probably all cherry tomatoes. More cucamelons. I wonder if there's any on here. Yep. These are just so stinking cute. They look like teeny watermelons. Everybody, you see them all over YouTube right now. And I see why. So, moonflower coming up. This calla lily is gorgeous. The beetles are starting to get it already. I kicked them off yesterday. Flicked them off, kicked them off. And then, I've never grown beans before. Those are beans and those are squash. Trying to get them to climb up that trellis. Volunteer potatoes. These are all volunteers. I did have some morning glories that did survive the rabbits. I had peas on here, but the rabbits are eating those, so I guess I only get 3 of those. And I need to thin out all these tomatoes because I have a ton of them. That's the reason you have a mulch pile, see, or a compost bin, whichever you want to call it. This rain barrel is here, but I really use it as a table. I do use it. The water, though, I used it yesterday. That's great for potted plants when you don't want to get the hose out. And so, not a lot of flowers right now. I need to get some more flowers in the garden. These are my beans. I guess I'm gonna get some of those pretty soon. Dill doesn't really like heat too much, but it's living. And that's it. Oh, I have another tomato in here with some marigolds in the bottom that aren't doing too much either. Oh, what's the matter? I have to keep him on a leash when I'm doing a video because he's ran away like 6 times and he cannot be trusted, so I will take him off when I'm done. Don't worry. Bye-bye. I almost forgot my coleus. It looks gorgeous. Look at this. You just gotta find out what grows in containers, I guess. Cardboard did not work so good on this end. Look at the weed fest in here. Ugh, I might have to pay my son to do that. This is one of my favorite red burgundy lilies. It will be open by the end of the day.